Today's travel adventure takes us to my hometown of Winter Garden, Florida. Today, folks, we're going to be looking at, believe it or not, an undiscovered local cemetery. We vlogged this cemetery in the past, but this is evidently section 2 that we kind of stumbled upon. I'm with my sidekick. It's a beautiful day. So today, folks, we're going to be looking at Winter Garden Cemetery, section 2. Now, this cemetery access is you have to go through Briar Lake Park. And it's interesting. So this is the cemetery. You have one side there, and then you have one side here. So we're going to cover this whole place today. I hope everybody's having a good day. I want to see if this is an older section of the park. So we have a World War I veteran, and he died in 1972. So I'm looking at some of the markers, and it looks like the earliest dates are around the 70s. So you have Bertha died in 1975, and then they died in 76. Must have been a popular year. Look at this. 1976, 76, 76, 76. Holy moly. And then look at this. '76. What is this, the 1976 cemetery? 1976. Look at this. I'm not making this up. 1976. Look at this. 1976. 1976. Is this like the Twilight Zone or what? Holy moly. You have another World War I veteran. Oscar Brown. And then you have a 1984, another World War I veteran. And then that's his wife. So they were in the Army. He died in 74, but he was not in any campaign. So I don't know what to make of this, because this is something that I was not familiar with. So that's a Korean vet right there. I haven't determined whether there's any older markers here. Lots of World War I and World War II veterans. Here's another World War I veteran here. He died in 78. In 2004, 2001. So I wonder if they have them grouped by year. Because I got a whole bunch that are 2000, 2004. Now, maybe my hunch was right that this is the older section. Look at this here. Now this is the earliest one. They were World War II, but they died in the 65. And then 1965 here. So, did they lay them categorically by the year of internment? So you have 64 right there. And he died in 63, and he was a World War II veteran. And then I'm all the way over to where the road is. And these are more recent, 2015. It's weird, you know, the time I'm not going to vlog anything and then I end up vlogging in a cemetery I didn't even know existed. Winter Garden Cemetery is humongous. And that's ended up being one of my more popular videos. He died in 86. I go by it all the time, but like I said, it just makes no sense to revisit something over and over again unless it was a famous graveyard like Forest Lawn or Hollywood, you know, or Hills, you know, Hollywood Forever, etc., etc. Yeah, see, there's nothing. We're going to go to the other side of the cemetery. So, now I did some silent vlogs where I wasn't speaking because when I started this channel, you know, and I seen that a lot of the Korean and Japanese daily vlogs were silent. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the way to go. I wasn't getting nothing. And then the next thing I know was when I was speaking was when I started getting a little bit here, a little bit there. It just trickles. You know, the subscribership just comes in trickles. It's not like one day I wake up and 20 people subscribed all the time. Believe it or not, word of mouth is how my channel grows. And I say this towards the end of every video that if I'm not out there hustling to get subscribers, I mention my channel. They like what they see, they subscribe. You know, there's no pressure. But I dispense little snippets that I think may be of value to somebody that isn't retirement age. That's what this audience is here for. People within that scope of retirement age. I mean, if younger viewers want to come, that's fine. I welcome anybody, you know. I really like that sunrise and sunset. I think that's so classy. You got a few above ground graves, but well, 1975, and then Miss Queenie, 2013. Maybe I was meant to find this. We have another World War I veteran. So this is the earliest grave right here. So he died in 1950. I've pretty much looked at almost every headstone. And normally if there's one that's oh wait, no. See, here's another one here. This lady died in 1947. So, and normally if there's anything earlier, my sidekicks normally, and he happens to be with me, he'll make some noise. So this is 68. And, okay, so we have an earlier grave here. So here's some of the 1945, and then you have another one that's 1949, and then I wonder, so they were World War I and they're 1947, but that's not the earliest grave. So far it's 1945. And, oh, okay, here's the earliest grave right here. So they were World War II. No, the date, no, they didn't die in 1909, but it doesn't have a date of death, so. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? He's just pointing out the pretty tree. I could grow something like that in my townhome. So that's 2007 right there. So, you've got some above ground graves, but you see, that's all. Some, and then there's the lake right there. I don't know the purpose of this. I mean, is it a specific type of cemetery? So he's World War I, but I'd have to tear a lot of that stuff out to get a date of death, but I know some people are noticing that more and more I will go to a veteran's grave before I will go to a civilian's grave. It really just depends. So he's a World War I veteran, and then you've got a gate right there. I don't think there's anything. Let me check. Oh, my nosy saw. There's nothing, that would, if there was anything there, that would be really super hard to get through. I'd literally be, So this cemetery is laid out by year of death. The oldest grave that is known is 1945. It's not a historic cemetery. Lots of World War I veterans. So they have veterans from World War I, World War II, and Korea, but primarily World War I. So this must have been where it started. Could there be unmarked graves? Oh, absolutely. There's nobody famous interred here. I did check. But it's a nice little cemetery. There's nothing that really talks about the history. But it is exactly what it is. A cemetery that's kind of hidden. So Minister Rashid Slater, so he talks about Hebrews 12, verses 11 to 17, and it reads, "Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down in the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Look diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and there by many be defiled, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited his blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully. There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind." Let me tell you, that's very true. I've shared a little bit about my history, that I was abused as a child by my mother's husband, that evidently wasn't a husband because he was a serial bigamist. And not being able to live as a normal teenager or have that type of life, I think I made up for it in various ways. Now, I think I was at the point that life really wasn't doing much for me. And when I say I hit rock bottom, folks, I hit rock bottom. And I'm not going to go into how I hit rock bottom, but I couldn't go as low as somebody did. And my brother-in-law talked about the Lord and things like that, and I thought he was crazy. He says, "Hey, why don't you go to church?" So I figured I'd try it. I went, and that's where I met my husband. We knew each other, but I kind of didn't know who he was. I just seen him in passing. And he said I knew I was going to marry you, that poor man. But anyway, I seen the way the people were acting, thought it was absolutely ridiculous, and was turned off by the whole thing. But I came back. And then I came back, and I got saved. And I did hit rock bottom, and slowly climbed out of things. Now, did I backslide? Yes, I did many times. But I'm older now, and I'm wiser. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm 63 years old. I'll be 64 this year. And with the way the crazy world is, time isn't on anybody's side for various reasons. That's all I'll say about that. But I changed my mind about going to church and living a more godly life. Lots of people don't want to hear about religion. They don't want to talk about it. And you know, everybody has free will, and that's a personal choice that you make. But that's the choice that I made. And I can tell you, although we weren't blessed with kids, but I have a great guy. And for all you ladies that go meet men in bars, or look at where you met the man, and that'll tell you a lot about the person. You look at what he reads, that'll tell you a lot about the person. How he treats you, that'll tell you a lot about the person. But see, you should know all this. And I'm not telling you to go to church to find a man. It's not how it works. But you need to really look at everybody. Look at your own lives. Take a look at how you're living and get right. You've never heard me preach this before in any way, shape, or form. I've never brought religion in any one of my vlogs, but something says, let them know. And I'm doing exactly that. So I'm going to end this video now. Think about what I'm saying. If you're turned off by this, then that's the choice that one makes. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Think about, again, what I'm saying. And thank you for watching. So long for now.